Welcome back. Well, the last video, so we got the engine and trans in. The next logical step is the part that I've honestly been dreading, is the rear drive shaft and torque tube cut down. We're working with about a little bit more than 5 inches, not too much. I think if I can get that figured out, then a lot of the stress will be relieved. I don't know. We'll see. Never done it before. So pretty much like everything else. So yeah, I guess we're gonna cut down the inner drive shaft with the splines, and then we'll cut down the torque tube. First step though is to cut down and see if we can get these splines to line up, and we'll go from there. So buckle in. So we can see this is our pretty much natural stop. So we're gonna take a measurement here, and it gives us about 2.5 inches, or to the middle of this is about 2.5 inches. And then I think we have about 2 inches here for this spline. So the plan is, I think this spline, way the tube comes over this other one might slide in between it, and then we can sleeve that and then weld around it. But that's the theory. So we're gonna see if this works. Here's the torque tube. I got the center drive shaft out of it. This is the rear. You can see how big it is. I think we're gonna cut right here along this seam. And then our front one, we're gonna cut back in here somewhere. I have to measure it still. And then we're gonna see if that slides. But we're gonna cut the rear one because we know regardless, this is the width we need no matter what. And we're gonna see if that'll slide into that. And again, this is first option. Worst case, we'll have to go to a machine shop and have them make something, but we're gonna see if this works first. So let's cut this bad boy. Well, we cut our rear section down and we cut our front section off. The plan was put in here, but you can see it's floppy. So I took some steel that I had, a little bit of tubing, cut it just rough. You can see it's ugly. And we're gonna see if we can fit this over here and then force fit it into there maybe. I don't know, but it's worth a shot, I guess. Well, that ain't working. Let's try it that way. Well, that slides right over that, doesn't it? But that fits. So, oh, slid down. Now I wonder if we can persuade it nicely to go into there. All right, let's try this first. Well, I wanted to go in, so let's see if we can do that. Okay. And then that looks like that's going to be too tight. Well, maybe I'm going to bevel these edges real quick so they're not so sharp. I think that, oh, never mind. Well, hot diggity. Well, shit. Oops, sorry. Well, all we gotta do is really weld around through that and clean this up. I might punch it back out just to clean it up some. I mean, for what I was thinking of doing and what it came out as, it's pretty spot on, which is good. I think I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to clean up this edge here and try to get this squared up really well. And then we can at least put a tack on it and then test fit it and see how we're looking. So that's the first part of this torque tube, because we still have to do the outer sleeve. So, but this works way better than what I was thinking. I didn't think I'd be able to sleeve that, and I don't know. I'm just pleased. So I'm going to clean this up, and we'll go from there. But so far, it's working out pretty well. Knock on wood. Cleaned all the grease out of our 6-spline. Kind of did a little bevel on here just so it wasn't so sharp. So I think now we're just going to try to put it together, and then we can weld it up. Get that in there first. Here it is. We'll make sure we get this nice and plumb, centered, level, whatever you want to call it, before we weld it up. Hey, I mean, if this works, this is going to be great. We still have our pin location that we can use to lock it in. But yeah, I think all we got to do is just square this up, put probably 2-3 little tacks on that, and mock it up and see how it does. Fingers crossed. I mean, if this works, this is amazing. Worst case, let's go to the machine shop and give them this and say, I need this. So, whew, good deal. So, let's weld her up, tack it up. Well, we're going to put like 4 tacks on this, and then we're going to try to slide it in and see if it works before we weld it up. Hopefully this works. If not, I guess we're going to a machine shop, but fingers crossed. All right, well, we got all the hardware loose. We're gonna jack it up a little bit. See if we can get this thing to move a little. And get our bolts out. There in the front. So we got our holes here. Trying to line up our hole in the rear with our hole right here in our shaft. Okay, that goes in. Oh, well, let's see here. That's going to be a problem there, isn't it? Actually, let's see if we can try and change this. Oh. Let's see if we can get this in first. Like I said, never done this before, so why is that not going back? Oh, is it hitting that? Ah, dang it. That's hitting my... I guess I could cut some of that off, right? Yeah, I'm going to have to end up cutting some of this off, but we're just going to need to see if we can get it to line up first. Okay. Let me take this whole thing down a little bit. let's see. I'm hitting my mount. Actually, I bet I can jack up the front just a little bit. Let's see if we can angle it. Let's see where we lined up here. Damn it. All right. There. As always, when you're building something custom and there's no rules, when we're trying to slide it in, we're barely hitting here with our mount. I'm just going to come in here and notch a little section here and over on this side. And then right here, I'm going to end up taking probably about 3/8 of this off. That way our pin will line up here. So we're going to get this covered up. We'll get these notched and we'll try again. Here comes take 4, 3, something, I don't know, but seems like 100 so far, but we'll see what we got. Yo! Hey, oh, hey, ha, ha, ha. Woo, sheesh. All right, let it down slowly. Am I on back there? What's going on? All right. Oh, shit. Oh. Little much. All right, let's see if we can. Let me get some bolts in this first and see if we can. I'll be back there in a minute. Oh, whew, there's one. Oh, I gotta go to the other side. Coming in front. Hold on. Oh. Yep, there you go. Oh, that lined up. That lined up. hot diggity dog, man. Let's see. Oh, all right. And then we have our pin. Oh, come on. Here. Oh, it's close. It needs to, it's a little far back that way, but I think once I weld this up, and I can grind off just the tip of the welds there. I think that's what part's hitting it. That'll be in, but look at there. Woo. Oh man, yes. Okay, awesome. Oh, that's a good feeling there. Nice and smooth. So I'm off maybe just a hair less than a 16th. So I'll show you. Stick that there. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So we got our pin line. You can see in there where this needs to barely come forward. But if you look right here with our welds, it's barely touching. So I think once I weld up this all the way around, I'll just cut just a small little groove with the wheel in it, and we should be good. But there, I'm spinning the wheels. Heck yeah, man. Whew. All right, let's take it apart again. Well, I fat fingered it and didn't hit the record button, but I just cut off our end of the front of the torque tube there. We're gonna try to clean it up some more and then figure out how we're gonna make the back section come onto this. So we got it in our vise, and if you look right there, you can kind of see this little lip. Looks like that was part of the sleeve that slid in from the other tube maybe. So we're gonna see if we can knock that out and give us a little bit more room. Hey. All right, so we fit this on to the transmission to see where it was at, and our yoke comes out to about right in here. So that would give us something about like right like that. So that's good. Bad part is this dips down here, and that's almost like a press fit. So I think, that's just a little bit. I think I'm going to cut this lip off here and then see if that'll slide through there. And if it does, then you can kind of go from there. So that's the next step. I guess we're going to try to get that to go so this can fit through there. I didn't think you needed to see me put the engine in again. I just went ahead and bolted this into our flange here. I did grind down the inside of this. This is our speedo cover. I was planning on using a speedometer, but my space is very limited. I can't get the gears into that. So I think I'm just going to continue to use this cover. Man, that sounded horrible. I'm going to use a speedo cover. That way I can pack grease into this and lube this up and anything like that if I need to. Bolt on with a gasket. I will have to put this piece on first with our pin and then slide the whole transmission in for this to line up. Next time I take it out, I'm going to try it that way just to make sure that I can do it. And so this part is good now. Here you can see how I spin it. Very minimal clearance, but you really don't need much, especially with the grease going around there. It should work pretty well. You can see our hole line up through there. So we're just a little bit off from this. So that's why I have to put that on first. Or I might find a spot right in here to notch it. Actually, that's not going to work because the other piece that goes over this, the fill in here, is going to cover that up. So I'll have to put that pin in first. And I'm just thinking out loud to myself, just so you know. All right, so that looks good. This spins. That's awesome. Now I need to figure out my back flange here because it is very fat, and then I have to reduce it down. So we're going to have to figure that out. But one thing at a time. This is huge right here, though. So we cut our two pieces. Oops, not that way. So it's going to end up going like this. But we got a big gap. So what I did, took some of the other tube since it's tapered and cut off different measurements. And hopefully we're going to squeeze them in together and kind of make a filler. And then we'll get it in and then we can weld it up. There's no structural support for this. It's just there to keep the fluid in. So we'll see if we can press this something. Let's see here. If I should hammer this or if I'm going to try to use the vise. Oh, not that way. There we go. So press that into there. Let that bottom out. Okay. So there you go. Kind of see we have one double layer there. See if we can clean that up a little bit. Yep. There we go. There's out flush. So now next one. Now, don't know how this is going to work. If it's going to push that other one out. If it is, we'll have to try to hammer it from the back side. But probably should have tried to do smallest to biggest. I bet that probably been the smart way to go. I don't know if that's pushing that one in or not. Oh, we got crooked. We got crooked. Let's see if we can. Oh, there we go. And it pushed that one back out. Lovely. Okay, so maybe we'll do it this way. All right, I'm going to push these in because you can't see this. I'm going to try to push them down from the top so they're flush. And then we'll see. We'll figure it out one way or the other. Either work or it won't, right? Oh. All right, let's put that like that. Now let's hit the big one. Okay, so that's got a little bit to go. Okay, and then this one should go there. Oh, that got loose somehow. Well, I don't think I like that. All right, we're gonna try something else. All right, well, we got our sleeves pushed into here. And we have a gasket just so we have the right spacing. So we're gonna throw this together and see if we can figure out the rest of this stuff. Actually, before I do that, I need to put that on. We're going to use our old pin. I got some new ones ordered for that. That way that stays flush. And let's see, we got groove there at the bottom. All right, so we got that there, that there. So I guess now we need to put our cover on. Stick you in there. I'm hitting on here. Oh, there we go. All right, let me get the two bolts for that. So we do one on each. See, all we need is top ones. Now this is trial and error. I have no idea if this is going to work, but we'll try it. And if it does, it works. If not, we'll try something else. All right, yeah, I don't need to do the bottom one. All right, so that gives us movement there. All right, so I guess I need to, let's stick you up there. Let's see if I can. Okay, let me let it down or bring it this way a little. Okay, there's some pressure. Hey. Okay. That's there. I don't know. All right, let's see what we got. So that's got to come back and down. Let's see what we got here. Too tight here. Okay, that's still turning there. I'm a little off, but I think that needs to, that needs to come back some. Let's see. All right. I think I'm hitting on this other sleeve. So I think what I'm going to do is pull this back out and make a smaller sleeve so that slides in a little easier. Let's give that a whirl. All right, we took out one of the shims, got it slid back in close. Now we're just going to try to ease it into our position here. Oh, let's see if we can take it down some. All right, we need to move our spacers here. Oh, there we go. So that one. we got here? All right, there, both of those are in. All right, so we can turn that. Now we just need to, I guess we need to put a tack weld on this. I think I'm off of, I could probably take this lip out. I think if I cut this little lip off right here, I think I could be able to slide that in. That way I can, this helps me line everything up, but this will also give me an access point to put grease and stuff like that into here. I know the rear axle is going to probably fling a little bit into the bottom part here, but that'll help me pack this really well. So I think I'm going to shave this little lip off real quick. All right, you can see I shaved down just that little lip. See the lip on this side? Just shave that down to give us a nice clean edge. I did take the gears and all that kind of stuff out of the inside so we don't have any clearance. So this should fit, and they're pretty tight now. I'm really not worried about oil or anything coming out of this hole here, but I might be able to find a cap or something for that later, but that's not a priority right now. So let's see if this will fit. And if it is, then come on, where are you at? Well, I can't even see what I'm doing here. I think I got that one. Heck yeah. All right, sweet. So we're gonna leave this on when we tack this up. That way we don't get any splatter or anything inside down there in the gears. Plus we know where we need to stop the weld. Again, this is just to kind of keep some of the grease and stuff in and make it look presentable. All right. So here we are with this. You can kind of see our different layers in here that we have. We're just going to put a little tack from this to that and to a few of those on each side. And then we'll take it all apart and finish welding that up and then put it back together and see if we can get it to work. I've got a small tack to that. Let's get another one here. Okay. Let's see if we can get down here lower. Well, I got two healthy tacks on each side. So I think I'm going to take it apart really easily and try to weld it back up. And then we'll see. I just spun the wheel and everything still spins freely, so I know we're not hitting. I mean, maybe. man, I tell you what, I just won the Stanley Cup, just the Pee Wee version, I guess. Oh, well, getting ready to put this back together. Hopefully this works. It looks good, and I think as long as this mounts up right and we spin the tires and we can get that the center drive shaft that we cut down not to make any noise, it'd be good. But we also have this that we can pack it full of grease once we do the final assembly and put the cap back on, and I think that will solve our issue. So the only thing is that we really want it to go on. I got the gasket on still, so I have the right depth. So we're just going to try to slide this all together, and then we'll bolt down the motor, turn the wheel, and fingers crossed. But I think that's kind of cool. And I guess worst case, if it doesn't work, there'll be a trophy on my shelf to remind me of the headache that this caused. Okay. Well, here we go. Let's give it a whirl. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see here. Okay, so oop, I got a piece of cork. I don't know what that's from. Gross. Let's see here. Okay, got that in. Get those started here. Bring it forward here. Okay, let's see. Be close there. Let's get these in. I think I still need to come back a little bit. Just pull. Let's get our mounts lined up. I don't think that's back all the way yet. Probably won't. Let's see, that's in. Good there. think. Let's see here. That one. I can't see. Let's see what we got here. Actually, let me let the front down some more. I'm still kind of high here. All right, let's see if that kind of tweaked it. There we go. All right, so let's get that on. All right, that looks like that's good there. Let's see here. We're getting spinning there. So I think that's good. And we also have this fitting here. Once we get everything finally assembled, we can pump this full of grease too. And I think that'll work for that. So that's in there. Let's see if this is going to fit. Let's see, maybe. Where are we going here, fellas? You got that? Here we go. I don't have a gasket on this yet, but I do have a new one, so no need for that right now. I'm not going to waste one. So this is going to make this look nice and complete. Again, we're not going to be able to use our speedo just because our shaft is so short there. So there's no room to get the little gear on there for it, but it is what it is. I guess if we really need a speedometer, we can use our phone as a GPS or something. Oh man, yes. Well, it is in and it's functioning. Oh man. Heck yeah. Well, I know we still have a few more bolts put on that, but we got 3 on it, so that's plenty for now. Oh yeah, man, that looks really good. So we have a complete drivetrain now. Wow, that was a big relief. Well, like I say, I'm glad that's over with. I think out of this whole thing, that's probably one of the main concerns I had was getting this rear drive shaft and the torque tube, everything cut down and it functioning properly. I think if I have to do anything different, I might take that little section to a machine shop and the back piece of it, or maybe the drive shaft on the top, the thicker part, I think I might take off a 1/16 of an inch, if that, just in case there is any rubbing. I mean, I know it's really close inside. I mean, like hair close. So I think that's probably the best bet. I don't have a lathe right now, or maybe that's an excuse to buy one. Don't tell anybody. She'll find out anyway. Actually, she'll find out when I just said it just now, because she'll watch this. I guarantee it. Anyway, this is a huge step. I mean, I feel really good that this part's done. Really glad it's over. So I guess next bit, I still have the bolts are loose on the mounts. I still have it on the hoist. You can kind of see. The main thing for that is because I'm going to be lifting this out again. I know I'm going to do an exhaust. I think I bought some just some plain headers that I'm going to probably end up cutting down or inverting or something like that, because I'm going to dump them out right above the frame rail. So that's coming up soon. I have a radiator ordered. I've got a cooling fan. I'm going to put that as a pusher. That way you can't see it, because I'm going to take off the main fan that's on the generator. That's just like a guillotine that'll be right behind my head, even if I had some protection or whatever. So that's going to come off. What else we got? The tire or the rims are at the sandblaster and powder coater, so we can get those done. Tires are ordered. They just showed up with the tubes, so that'll be another video coming up of getting those all put together. If you remember when we did the rims, we tapped them so we can have the aluminum spun covers on it, so that's going to look really cool. So I guess before I take the full pressure off this, it's coming up in another video or something, I do need to finish welding up. If you remember on our brackets here that go to the axle, we only got like 3 or 4 good tacks on them, just in case we had to disconnect it and change the angle a little bit. So we have to finish welding that up. We'll probably put a little T-plate back here just to give it a little bit more weld. And then we can work on our rear radius arms, because we're going to have to cut those down in 2 spots. We're going to have to cut it to bring it up and then over so we can mount to the outside of the rail. Got to do that. And then, well, I guess we'll get the radiator in, and then we can figure out our firewall. And once we get that section, then we can cut the tanks into 2. So we have a front and a rear. And then we'll work on our seats and our shifting mechanism, our floor, our rear brakes, and gas tank battery, blah, 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 blah. But this is huge. I mean, this is, you can kind of see what it looks like now. So that's awesome. It's a great feeling. So that's it for this one. I'm hoping you enjoy what you're seeing. I'm having a blast doing it. Some of it's challenging. This was real challenging, just to try to figure it out and try to make sure that it's going to work. But hey, live and learn, right? Yes, it's either it will work or it won't, as some other people have said. And if it doesn't, we'll just figure out another option. So thanks for keep coming back and watching these. I appreciate it greatly. So got any questions, comments, please send them. Make sure you like the video. If you want to share it, that'd be awesome. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. So see you on the next one. Have a good one.